Lori has the lead stars of a very popular sci-fi TV series.
Hi, thank you so much for tuning in to Sidewalks Entertainment. I'm your host, Lori Rosales. So today's guests, many of you will probably recognize from the very popular TV series, The Ark. That's right, Christie Burke, Richard Fleeshman, and Reece Ritchie will be joining us right here on Sidewalks Entertainment, and you do not want to miss out. Stick around, relax, because you're watching Sidewalks Entertainment. I'd like to welcome Christie Burke, Richard Fleeshman, and Reece Ritchie to Sidewalks Entertainment. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining us.
It's our pleasure.
Our pleasure.
So Christie, how did you hear about the Ark, and what caught your interest in playing the role of Lieutenant Sharon Garnett?
Well, I guess I just got an audition, like I think everyone else here. That's how I kind of heard about it. Dean had seen something that I was in and tracked my agent down, and then that's kind of how I heard about it. And when I read the pilot, I was hooked. I was like, can I please play Lieutenant Sharon Garnett? And obviously in season 1, we have this incredible journey with her where she's, learning how to control a ship, basically lead a ship with these incredible lieutenants here. And then in season 2, we get to see her not only lead, but have other relationships and really live a fully formed human experience.
Awesome. And Richard, on the Ark series, what's your experience been like wearing futuristic space costumes and working on a sci-fi set?
Yeah, it's kind of all of your childhood dreams come true. Initially it is, and then the reality sets in, and it's 40 degrees, and you're in a zip up spacesuit which you can't go to the toilet in. But for the most part, it's amazing, and
that's just working with me, Richard, isn't it? All your childhood dreams.
It's just you bringing absolutely. But we have such a fun time on this show, and the crew very often doesn't get referred to. It's all about how does the cast gel and everything, but we're so lucky that we have this amazing crew and the hardest working people in the world. We film out in Serbia, and the crew is amazing, the whole team behind it, the production, and our amazing DOP Igor, and we're very, very lucky, and people really invest huge chunks of time and effort into making this thing come to life, because very often we read the scripts and it seems so incredibly ambitious, and they manage to pull it off, and none more so than in season 2. The scope just gets far and away bigger, and from what I've been lucky enough to see so far, it's I'm really, really pleased and can't wait for people to see it.
So what's the set like?
The amazing thing about our sets are that they're all connected pretty much. So you can physically walk from the canteen to the bridge as if you were on a real spaceship, which really helps us immerse ourselves in the world and invest in these characters and the situations they're in. We do lots of really creative, just to pick up on what Richard was saying about the crew, these amazing shots where they go with us throughout the whole of the ship with the camera, which you can't do on a normal show. So I feel like the design of this show is really unique in that way, and it really helps us not cut every 2 seconds, and it keeps the audience engaged in what these characters are going through.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, Reece, what strengths or personality traits do you enjoy portraying most when playing your character, Lieutenant Spencer Lane?
That's such a great question. It's always fun to play a flawed character, and some characters are more flawed than others. I feel like Lane is definitely flawed in that his ambitions are quite short-sighted in season 1. He has a bit of a lust or he thinks he has a lust for power, only to realize that when he gets it, he doesn't really know what to do with it. And I feel like that's a really relatable quality. So yeah, it's just a joy to, Jonathan Glassner and Dean Devlin, who helm this show, are so experienced in the sci-fi space. They know exactly what they're doing. And when they hand us these roles, they also leave a little bit up to artistic license for us as well, which is really generous of them. So it's just been a wild ride. And season 2 just lifts the bar. I mean, it was so unexpected, these plot twists, we just didn't see them coming. And I think the audience are really going to get a lot out of what happens to these characters in season 2.
So, Christie, having played a fictional character in space, has it given you more of an interest in outer space? And would you travel to outer space if given the chance?
Oh, it's totally given me like this need to want to go to space. The only problem is I'm extremely scared of aliens. And so
Oh,
me and Jonathan
why?
Glassner always talk about, how like, I don't want aliens on the show because I'll like have a panic attack. So I think, yeah, I think there's a part of me that like really wants that adventure of like going to space and seeing the unknown. But then on the other hand, I'm like, oh, but if there are other beings out there, I think I would like be so scared I would die, genuinely.
You know, it's so interesting that you would say that because, you know, I've pictured your character, Garnet, in the alien scenario. You know, the film with Sigourney Weaver, and I'm just kind of like,
Totally.
I wonder what she would do in that situation, like in that in that film.
I'm just terrified of aliens.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be acting. I would be like freaking out, crying, having to have someone hold my hand. Like I'd be pretty scared. But Ripley in Alien was definitely the beginning seeds of Garnet for me and my development of that character. So that's really cool that you referenced her.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. That's amazing. So, Richard, apart from acting, what are other professional ventures that you also want to do one day?
Oh, wow. I mean, well, I mean, I am a musician and I do sort of have quite a mixed career, quite eclectic, because I do music as well, and I do a lot of work on the stage in West End and in New York and stuff. So that stuff, but that's not really outside this industry. I'll be honest with you, not very good at anything else. So
yeah, right.
Richard's annoyingly good at everything he turns his hand to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where it happened.
What about a chess player, Richard?
What is this?
Pretty good at
do you know
chess,
something? Do you know something I don't? Am I getting fired? Is that why you're asking if I've got a plan D set up?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Surprise.
Well, because you released a solo album a couple years back, and I'm just kind of wondering, I mean, have you considered also doing music as well? Or maybe they might, put in a short scene of you doing music in the ARC series.
Well, who knows? I mean, we'll say anything's possible. Jonathan Glassner's a big musical theatre fan, so he's often trying to sidle up and ask what's next and what's on the cards and stuff. So I don't know. I don't think it's a million miles away that there could be a musical theatre episode of the ARC one day. But I'm not ruining anything by saying it hasn't happened yet.
I love how Christie and Reece are totally hyping you up on that too. They're like, what are you not good at? I love that.
Whenever I've had the pleasure of spending a lot of time with Richard and Christie over the course of these 2 seasons, and whenever Richard and I walk into a room and there's a piano, I'm like, I just struck gold, won the lottery. I'm like, this night is going to be a good one, because Richard's an incredible pianist as well. And I'm a massive music fan. So, I think and all of that happens off screen, I feel like really informs what we do on screen. We've had a lot of fun together, and I hope that the fans see that we get along, tremendously off screen as well. And these characters go through a lot together. And I feel like in season 2, we really bring a lot of what we've worked to build in season 1 back onto the screen for the fans. And this season has so many twists and turns. It's a really exciting season of TV.
So how often are you guys able to hang out very often when you aren't filming?
Oh my gosh.
Too much.
We've been drunk to the 3 of us have been drunk together more than most human beings. We because also we're away. We live when we're shooting the show. We live basically a kind of like summer camp life. We go and we do our job, but then obviously we're away from family and friends in our respective homes. So we have to become each other's social circle and each other's kind of makeshift family, as it were. So we've had many nights in Serbia. Very fun. I don't remember a lot of them, but I know we've had them.
No,
I don't remember a lot of them.
So, Reece, The Ark is a pretty popular series in sci-fi fandom. Before you became a part of the show, what was your favorite sci-fi series or film of all time?
Wow, what an amazing question. Your questions are amazing, by the way. Well, I had the pleasure of being in the sci-fi fantasy show, The Outpost in Serbia for 3 years before The Ark happened. Which was also helmed by Dean Devlin and Jonathan Glassner. So I'm biased. I'm going to say that was my. I mean, it's not strictly sci-fi; it was sci-fi fantasy, but that was. I grew to really love that show, and it's really weird because the sets for The Outpost are very close. It's on the back lot where we shoot The Ark. And if I have like a couple of scenes off, I've been known to, don't tell anybody, wander down there in my spacesuit and just kind of look at the old set of the Outpost standing there, you know, in the Serbian wind.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I had a real fondness for that show, and it's one of the reasons I came back for The Ark is because I really love what Dean Devlin and Jonathan Glassner are able to do in that space. They just know that world so well, and they've helped actually build the foundations for a lot of the sci-fi shows that we see today are because of them. A lot of the things that they've pioneered with Stargate and with Independence Day and things like that, they really know this space. So it's a joy to be in their hands when we're shooting this show.
That is so amazing. That's awesome. Well, it really was such a pleasure to speak with all three of you. The three of you are just amazing. Thank you so much.
Likewise, thank you so much
Thanks for having us.
Everyone, be sure to watch Christie Burke, Richard Fleeshman, and Reece Ritchie in the series The Ark on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Thanks, Lori, and the stars of The Ark. You can also stream The Ark on Peacock in the United States. For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit us at sidewalkstv.com, our YouTube channel, and don't forget to follow us on social media.